I didn't feel like I had an option.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk you through Mozart 100 and the build up, the thoughts, the feelings. Please do hit that like and subscribe button.
Whilst watching and editing this video back, I realised just how fast I spoke. I promise I have not sped up my speech, etc. I just wanted to apologise for that. And I went into Mozart 100 with 2 dodgy ankles. I knew what happened was a complete possibility. I've been dealing with them in the run-up to the race. And yeah, I knew it was a risk. But I had spent so much money, so much time. You know, it's another entire training block around one race. I had moved to France to altitude and I put months and months of hope into this race. So not starting wasn't something that felt like an option. Even though I didn't feel fit as I knew I could be. I knew my ankles were wobbly to say the least, but I didn't feel like a choice. And so I started, and this is what happened at Mozart 100. So, started off fine. I had my little timing schedules and the girls, I'm not joking, they went off so quickly, but I was like, that's fine. I am going to do my thing, do my race, do my own pacing, and again, you never know who's going to turn up and you never know what's going to happen in a race. So for me, sticking to my plan was a genuine win, and it still is a win. On the first descent, I did roll my ankle, like not even 10k into the race. Then it just kept rolling, which we knew it would roll in the race. Our plan, our hopes were just, at least get to 80k, still functionable, and then I can, just keep running and hope for the best. But the fact that it went not even 10k in was kind of the worst possible scenario. Going to the first checkpoint, I was like 3 minutes ahead of my A goal, so I was like, okay, just chill out. Like, even though I didn't go off with the girls, I was still going off faster than kind of what I wanted, so slow down, take it easy. But yeah, the second descent, it completely went. And I was really chuffed actually with my ascending. I was powering on, I was doing quite well. And then before even the top of the first descent, we had like a little descent, and that was where my ankle was just like buckled. The proper ones where it's like it folds in on itself and you're just like, ooh. And it's always the thing with ankles is, or my experience with my ankles and being hypermobile, is that generally they just pop back up and they're fine. No, this was not popping back up and being fine. I did manage about some of the second descent running, and then it completely went, and that way where it just makes your whole stomach turn, like you're just like, ugh. So then I just got the poles out and I started walking, and I kept walking for a long time. So I walked all the descents pretty much. Every time I tried to run, it was like, oh, and then it was even like trying to get uphill, it was hurting. And I remember coming to like my second crew aid station, my coach being like, are you sure? It's quite a long way, you want to keep hobbling? And I'm like, it'll shake off, because normally it does. Like, I was like, it'll shake off, it'll be fine. And then I just walked for hours and hours and hours. And to put it into perspective, probably my more realistic goal, like I had an A goal, but that wasn't that realistic. My B goal, which was much more realistic, was 14 hours 30 for 120k. And to put it in perspective, I was only at 65k in 11 and a half hours. It was, I was literally just walking. I had a great time on feet, long day on feet, but it was not the race I came for. I was in a lot of pain. I started to think, I don't even know if I'm going to make cutoffs, because all I could do was walk. And actually a lot of the descents were really runnable, but I really didn't want another DNF. There didn't really become a version of the race that made sense to finish it anymore. If I could finish it, I don't know. It was the sensible thing to do would be call it a day, and the stupid thing would just keep going. And I actually took the sensible thing. Good sneeze. Woohoo! But the course itself was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. It was quite a hot day, but I weirdly didn't struggle with the heat at all that day. But also, I don't know if it was because I wasn't like my heart rate was up too high or anything. Like, I wasn't pushing because I was walking. So I don't know whether that helped a lot. But yeah, it was such a stunning course. And yeah, I mean, it would be a fast course if you could run it. I'd probably like to go back, to be honest. I feel like even in the pouring rain, it would be a nice course to do. I kept going after the first roll because I genuinely just thought, you know, it'll shake off. It might settle. And I kept going after the 7th roll because I thought, it might settle, might be fine. You know, if it had been any normal run, I would have called that day. I would have been like, yeah, I've had enough now, I think. I think we've had enough rolls for one day, but it's not just a run. And I think a lot of people could probably resonate to, if I just keep going, it'll be fine. You start to go, oh, just keep moving and I'll be okay. But I knew like I couldn't run on it at all. Like, it was so painful. It still is painful. It just really sucks. But that's why I kept going. Like, I wasn't going to call it a day at 10k. Like, that wasn't an option for me. I was going to make sure I had exhausted all options. Because again, it's like, well, maybe it'll shake off in 2 hours. It'll be fine. Because the frustrating bit is I'd done the most technical parts of the course. You know, I'd done all the ascents and descents. Like, the big ones, I'd done them all. Pretty much. I just had a little bit of the descent still to go before it got much more runnable. But I couldn't run, so that was the issue. Was starting the right call? I don't know. And there's not really much point for me thinking about that because I did go. It's thinking, you know, if I'd given my ankle another month, booked another race somewhere else, would that be a better option? Yeah, probably, maybe, I don't know. I don't regret starting. Again, whether it was the right thing to do is a very different question, but it was still a big experience for me. It was still, you know, travelling to another country, navigating all the aspects of stuff and all my stupid mistakes from travelling. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do it differently. Again, you can't say it. I really don't know. I hope I'm not in that position again. I probably will be, knowing me and my body, but I really hope I'm not. It was starting a race that I knew I wasn't in peak condition. It wasn't like the arc where I was like, no, I feel ready for this, I think. Like, I feel like, you know, okay, everything wasn't amazing running into it, but I felt better. Like, a lot of my prep for Mozart was, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't feel fit. Whether it was because of altitude, whether it was because of personal stuff, whether it's because of, you know, my ankle, whether it's because I've done a hell of a lot on the bike instead of running, I don't know. But just a lot of challenges in this block. How do I feel about DNF? And this is a weird thing, I think a DNF is better for me than I did not start in this situation. Because that would have been the easy way, is to just not start it. You know what I mean? Like, that genuinely would have been much easier for me and my entire life. But it's like, I think a DNF is better than a DNS in this situation for me. And, you know, I went in wanting a podium and I got a DNF. And again, I don't feel like I got to give it everything I had, which is the 3rd time this has happened now. So that is hard to sit with. And the consequences of not getting a good, like a better race for me are quite high in my own personal life right now. So it is really difficult to be like, am I just the person that DNFs now? And I know that's not true. Like, I know that that's not true. And if I did shorter races, I could go and race the next weekend. Well, I couldn't have because I can't run on my foot still. But, you know, within 2-3 weeks I could go and try again. It's just the fact that these races have such, you know, you can't race them every weekend. Oh, you know, some people do, and maybe I need to start racing more. I don't know. It's hard. And I think a lot of it's hard is, like, you know, like the what ifs. Think about what if this had happened, what if that had happened, what if I'd done this, what if 2 months ago this had happened, X, Y, Z, what if I'd stayed in the UK? But there's no point in thinking like that because none of those things did happen. And I think it's then reflecting on that and thinking, what do I need to change right now to make it better? And there's a lot of things I need to change. Whether that's actually going to impact my racing, I don't know, it will, but... And what's next? I've been sitting with this, and I think that's why I've not made this video for 2 weeks, because I've been sitting with, I want to tell everybody what's next. Like, I want people to be like, this is the plan, this is what's happening, because that's what I do. Like, a week after the arc, I had Mozart booked. I was like, okay, we reshape, we rechange, let's go. I don't have that this time. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be dramatic here. I just don't know. Mozart took a hell of a lot out of me. I just feel like I need to reset for a bit. And I need to think what's best for my future career moving forwards. I think it's really hard when you show up every day and then showing up doesn't, and like I don't feel like I've got anything to show up for, because nothing is happening. I do know that I will be back on the trails. I want to be back racing, you know, just because I've had a couple of really challenging races. It doesn't change that. It just means I need to keep working. And yeah, Mozart 100 didn't go the way I wanted. But I showed up and I started. And I did cover 65k on dodgy feet. Probably didn't really have any business trying to carry me that far. There was a lot of positives. Kit was 10 out of 10. Scenery was 10 out of 10. You know, there was a lot of positives to the day. I am very much still figuring out what comes next. But when I know, you guys will hear about it.